All right, sweet. And I like to have the stream open on a 10-second delay, so I'll be listening. from the scheduled kick-off time of this NPL Women's New South Wales match between APIA Leichhardt and the Mount Druitt Town Rangers. The teams will be out on the pitch shortly. Stay with us. You are seeing live pictures at present. So the APIA team making their way out of the tunnel, and they will line up next to Mount Druitt Town Rangers. Both teams about to take to the pitch for this NPL Women's New South Wales Round 17 match. And it is the ladder leaders, Mount Druitt Town, visiting APIA Leichhardt. It was a match that back in Round 4 seemed destined for a 0-0 draw with both goalkeepers the heroes until two late Mount Druitt goals really set the launch pad for their season, and they haven't looked back since. In fact, they came into the round 5 points clear at the top of the league. Of course, there are so many matches on concurrently today. That could all change if there's a slip-up. And in one of the earlier games, Bulls Academy in second has already banked a win against the Northern Tigers. So I'm sure Mount Druitt will be aware of that as they come to APIA, hoping to keep their buffer at the top of the division. Teo Pellizzeri with you for this one. Let's go to the teams. APIA Leichhardt welcomes Sally James back in goal today. 2 Claudia Chico, 4 Jess Seaman, 6 Mona Walker, 11 Ashley Crofts, 13 Jordan Jasnos, 14 Mia Golding, 16 Estelle Fragale, 18 Sophie Hoban, 38 Alyssa Rose, and 39 Ash Brodigan. So a handful of changes for APIA, bringing in Sally James back in goal for Sophie Magus, who goes to the bench, Mia Golding and also Ash Brodigan. Got a totally new-look bench for APIA. Teal Kilbride, Hannah McNulty, Gisela Pepino, Imogen Lane back for potentially the first time since round 9, and Zoe Panagopoulos. No spot in the matchday squad for Charlotte Lancaster or Christina Kachik. So to the league leaders, Mount Druitt Town Rangers. Goalkeeper Renee Kirstanovska. 2 Holly Williams. 7 Shaden Jabur. 8 Natalie Kasher. 18 Ellen Tavares. 19 Lena Karmas. 23 Tian Flavin, 30 Rakaya Al-Faraja, 31 Ella Buchanan, 32 Anna Harada, and 38 Adelaide Wazinski. And on the bench for Mount Druitt Town, backup keeper Laura Trudinic, Kai Buchanan, Holly Pender, Claire Holder, the hero from round 4, one of the goal scorers, Keiko Tanaka, and Wenny Gao. So Jabur and Cash are coming to the starting 11 for Mount Druitt Town. Kai Buchanan goes to the bench, and Rita Boateng is out injured, as is Jessica Robinson. And it's a Mount Druitt team that also has no Rosie Galea due to suspension, no Holly Dalrymple, no Olivia Sloan, and no Emily Koss. So the team's depth is starting to get tested in midwinter at crunch time. If they even come away with a draw today, you'd think it would be an excellent result for Mount Druitt Town, given that they are top of the league. APIA, they're running out of chances. They need to start getting on a winning streak to close the gap. Coming into the weekend, 8th on the table on 24 points, albeit only 6 behind Bulls Academy, although it's 9 behind at kickoff because Bulls Academy did win in an earlier kickoff today. Of course, these two teams are going to meet in the Sapphire Cup final in a couple of weeks' time, but they can't really afford to have any cards close to the chest here due to the league circumstances of both teams. Mount Druitt Town chasing a premiership, APIA just trying to get into the top 4. They can't really leave anything in reserve for the cup final. They're going to have to give everything they've got towards winning today. For those of you not familiar with the teams, it's APIA in the maroon, and they'll be attacking the left of your screen, and in the yellow and green, Mount Druitt Town taking kickoff, attacking the right of your screen. This round 17 match is underway at Lambert Park. APIA Leichhardt against the Mount Druitt Town Rangers. And an early touch for Aaron Tavares as possession is contested down at the sideline, right on halfway. Today's officiating crew, referee Charlotte Flynn, assistant referee on the opposite side to our camera is Ella McGarity, and assistant referee 2, closest to our cameras, is Hannah Stone. Here's Alyssa Rose on the ball for APIA now, conceding a little bit of territory back to Jordan Jasnos, who has been a bit of a revelation since coming into the team. Sitting in the under-23s waiting for her shot in the seniors and has really taken off since. Centre-back pairing for APIA today, Jessica Seaman on the ball here. And also Claudia Chico, who we've become more used to seeing as a wing-back in the A-League Women's, but very much at home as a centre-back in the NPL. Here's Estelle Fregale. She's the defensive midfielder of this APIA team, and they'll be hoping to dominate possession today. Long ball here. Ella Buchanan makes the interception for Mount Druitt, but possession is short-lived. Taking over on the ball is Alyssa Rose. Slides it down the right flank. And even though the runners were often chasing there, it was just beyond the sprinting of Mia Golding. And so Mount Druitt goalkeeper Renee Kirstanovska, even in an almost completely set sun, is still wearing the peaked cap. That might just be force of habit. There's absolutely no setting sun to speak of. The light's already very much a necessity here at Lambert Park. Kirstanovska's goal kick. Sophie Hoban put a foot on the ball, but Mount Druitt able to win possession. Jasnos has to concede a little bit of territory. Under pressure from Wazinski. And back to Sally James, who's back in goal for the first time since round 14 in the NPL. James bouncing between all 3 domains of football in this country, be it international, A-League or the NPL, in short order. She's been on the bench for the Matildas, and now she's playing in the NPL all in the space of a couple of months. Such is the nature of the game at times. Bouncing ball here away from Ashley Crofts, and she's going to get a touch that allows Jasnos to advance onto the ball. Jasnos against Tavares, out on the wing. Pass inside for Alyssa Rose, promising for APIA. Rose, and set a bit too tough a task there with the ball over the top for Brodigan. So it's the Ash combo today, Ashley Crofts and Ashley Brodigan, different spellings. Those two will be hoping to work as a forward combo today. As that ball runs down to Sally James, the APIA formation, it does look quite narrow through midfield, a midfield diamond, and then the wing backs of Golding and Jasnos giving them width. Got centre midfielders Fregale and Mona Walker, and then a bit more advanced Sophie Hoban, and then seemingly almost as a roaming number 10, Alyssa Rose, been given a bit of freedom. Brad Adhard, their coach. Ben Goff on the opposing sideline. Interestingly, the tents that were up for the under-18s earlier have been taken down, so no weather to speak of, not a breath of wind, not a drop of rain. Both benches happy to be exposed to the elements. As Buchanan gets a touch here, keeps it away from Golding down the line as the ball runs on. Punch and challenge. Plenty of shouts from the Mount Druitt bench of displeasure, but play continues. Jasnos. We've seen this matchup already once. Jasnos against Tavares. And this time it's Tavares conceding a corner kick. So APIA, who do have quite a tall team in, are going to have a set-piece opportunity here. Lots of height to aim for. Ashley Crofts, Jessica Seaman, Mona Walker, and even Sophie Hoban, a pretty good player in the air. So let's see how the Mount Druitt defence, without Kai Buchanan in there today, she's on the bench, organise and defend the first corner of the game. An in-swinger, landing right on Kirstanovska, who with an outstretched right hand is able to punch it away, and then Jabeur finds the safety of the line almost, and eventually it finds a way over. It nearly turned into a counter-attack there, but not quite for Alpha Raja, the other goal scorer. Last time these teams been in the Mount Druitt bench, well, Ben Goff's in the book already. So our whistleblower today, Charlotte Flynn, is not in the mood for back chat. A yellow card for the Mount Druitt bench just 5 minutes into the game. I wonder if that'll set the tone. So the yellow card given, and now Golding takes the throw in down the line. Hoban buzzing around. He's got Casher for company. Golding back to Walker. Mona Walker wants to turn and face and drive the ball low. Difficult pass to bring under control, and the Mount Druitt midfield close in. Casher, Enna Harada from the centre of defence all the way back to the goalkeeper, Kirstanovska. Out to Ella Buchanan. She's got a little bit of space to dash. It's the return pass coming for her. Not quite. Couldn't link up there, but there was a touch on the ball from APIA. So Mount Druitt throw taken quickly. And a quick clearance away. Hoban. Crofts able to take possession. And in a tussle at the sideline, the decision goes Mount Druitt's way. Well defended by Holly Williams to see it over the line for a goal kick. Shallow goal kick is knocked straight out for a throw-in. Bit of a more modest crowd than you usually get at APIA tonight. About 200, maybe if you include the pavilion side, the Joe Marston Pavilion, 300 in. Frigale wants to take the ball to the wing, but she's got two opponents right on her hammer. And has she done well to win a corner? She has. So clever from Estelle Frigale, and the set-piece onslaught continues for APIA in these opening exchanges. Of course, their main goal scorer from set-piece this season, Christina Kachik, not in the team tonight. She's popped up for more than a few headed goals this season, but it's another corner here to be taken by Rose. To the back post, overall and sundry, and out for a goal kick. And the Pack were setting themselves there to leap at the ball, but no one really got up. And ultimately it sailed out on the opposite side. So Kirstanovska driving into the midfield third, but not a great deal further. APIA happy to take over possession. Chico. Golding waits for the pass to arrive. Now back to burst of acceleration, trying to get away from Lena Karmas. The cross in. Half-hearted shouts for a handball. Shot on the turn. Excellent save, Kirstanovska. And even better to deny the follow-up from Crofts. Jordan Jasnos forced a good save initially. And then with the ball there to be won, Renee Kirstanovska had hard hands to stop that follow-up from Ashley Crofts and then grab onto the ball. APIA's best chance to score so far. Now another half-hearted shout for handball. This time given in midfield. So plenty of attacking intent in this APIA team. Not even 10 minutes in. The normally luminous scoreboard here at Lambert Park is not operating today. There's one pixel that's currently red, and the rest of it is blacked out. Here goes Alfaraja, first touch. Not quite there. And it runs down to Sally James, who's largely been organising rather than doing any saving so far. You can see there's not an aggressive press or anything of that nature going on from Mount Druitt at the moment. They're happy to sit off and let APIA have the ball, at least through the first 15 minutes. And, that roaming playmaker, Alyssa Rose, comes deep to just get a feel for the ball and then feed it back to Jessica Seaman. Chico decides to bypass the midfield and put up a high ball. Straight to Buchanan, but the follow-up now is coming from Hoban. Plays it into space. Crofts knocks it back. Golding. First time cross from Mia Golding. Headed clear. The follow-up driven low by Rose. Jasnos at the edge of the box and kept away from her by Wazinski. Out for an APIA throw. Crofts flick header, neat flick header, but no one running onto it. And so Kirstanovska able to launch the ball into her grasp. Shaden Jabeur, important in that previous defensive phase. Standing at centre back today, next to Holly Williams. Ella Buchanan at left back, Ellen Tavares right back. We haven't seen much of Anna Haradi at the Japanese at the base of the midfield for Mount Druitt Town. Same for Tian Flavin. The ball has largely bypassed her so far. Can Mount Druitt spend a bit of time in possession here? A free kick and an opportunity to go into the attacking half. So distance on the free kick from Williams. Through the left side of the box, promising for Karmas. Controlled the ball, Buchanan there for company, and results a goal kick. And that looked a bit promising initially, the touch from Lena Karmas. Not able to bring the ball down completely to her advantage, though. Karmas with 9 goals in the league and another in the Sapphire Cup this season. So hoping to move into double figures today in the league. Former Matilda, of course. Member of the 2015 Women's World Cup 10 years ago. Sally James's goal kick, an aerial duel ensues. Crofts 2 headers on the ball, and it's going to find its way on to Ashley Brodigan. Sets Jordan Jasnos away. Jasnos running wide. Shot on the tight angle, and the goalkeeper had those angles covered. Kirstanovska makes the save. And the speed of Jordan Jasnos, definitely a consideration. She's obviously starting very deep in the pitch. Playing as a left wing back, and the referee's going to whistle play dead here due to a Ball right on the tip of the nose for Alyssa Rose, but she's come up with a smile. Had the cry of anguish initially, but thankfully not too serious. And now there's a bit of consternation about who's going to get possession after the drop ball. I think the shouts come from the bench. What are you arguing about? We're getting it back. So often flashpoints like that prove to be the most argued over in a game. Now it's live at the feet of Jessica Seaman. Mona Walker can't find a way past Alfaraja, who's really putting the heat on. Now Kasha, back to Alfaraja. And good one-on-one defending initially from Walker, but coming through, Harada. Now Kasha, and stepping in and committing a foul against Rose. Some very heavily bandaged right knee for Natalie Kasha, but not afraid to stick that foot in and commit that foul. Bit of an awkward back pass to deal with here for Fragale, and Wazinski saw the chance to go, but couldn't make a play on the ball. Harada tried to jump that pass, has allowed an escape out the back here for Rose. Now Crofts tries to keep the ball moving. Cleared away by Tian Flavin. To grab on the shirt of Lakaya Alfaraja leads to a Mount Druitt free kick. Shaden Jabeur to take the restart here. First time back in the seniors since round 14, so a big opportunity for her starting tonight. APIA through Hoban. Into the attacking half they go. And Wazinski has got wise to the movement of Jasnos and was actually a step in front of her there, stopping any chance of the left wing back advancing forward. Chico. Crofts protecting the ball. Saw Golding getting forward over on the right side. Mia Golding. Still feeding the ball out to the right. Rose against Buchanan. And the throw in goes Apia's way. Edge of the box. Hoban tried to roll her marker. Jabeur was having none of it and cleared the ball away. Cash's pass. Fragale. Sally James just wanting a feel for the ball, roaming out to the centre of defence. The goalkeeper tries to flash a pass over to the left channel. Mona Walker. Over the top, hoping for Hoban. The ball with a bit of backspin on it, finds its way to Sophie Hoban. Lifts it across. Controlled by Brodigan initially and then nicked away. Jabeur came in late and came in well. And had to be there because Ash Brodigan was about to swivel and shoot. Fragale, Apia trying to turn up the heat. Wave after wave of attack. Great touch here from Jasnos. And then tried to slip a pass through rather than shoot when she had the momentum up. Is it third time lucky for Apia? Long shot comes in here and Kirstanovska sees it all the way. Mona Walker decided to give it a rip from distance, but batted down and dealt with. And certainly the busier of the two goalkeepers so far. Kostanovska's had all the answers to date. Walker's been in good goal-scoring form, so why not have a go? That pass not her best as it slides out for a throw. Walker's scored in consecutive games and has 4 for the season in the league for APIA, so you don't see that too often. A central midfielder, nominally a central defensive midfielder, scoring 3 games in a row, but she popped up there with a decent attempt. Jasnov's back involved here. Kasher against Hoban, and the whistle goes in Mount Druitt's favour. Still feels like Mount Druitt are just absorbing at the moment. APIA doing most of the attacking. Mount Druitt the ones in need of a bit of defensive sternness to ride this out before they can build into the game themselves. So after a chance for everyone to catch their breath, Williams with a long free kick. Kasher. Alfaraja. Jabur. Buchanan can't control it, and that will run out for an APIA throw at right back. Free kick going APIA's way this time. Push on Alyssa Rose. Jordan Jasnos is sneaking forward on the left side, but maybe a little bit too far away for the free kick range of Jessica Seaman. She's going to go for distance regardless. Crofts can't get a touch on a flick on. Tavares caught in possession. Brodigan, the ball breaks to the edge of the box. Brave goalkeeping coming out from Kostanovska to clear it away. Rose, Fragale, Kasher, Alfaraja. Golding stood her ground, won the ball back with a good tackle. Now Walker through midfield, Crofts outpointed. Walker trying to send Gordon through the right, Buchanan having none of it. Now Ella Buchanan with a real burst of acceleration here onto the ball. Has Alfaraja there in support. Buchanan trying to continue the run. And preventative defending comes in from Jessica Seaman to clear. Only as far as Flavin. Harada sends an early ball for Mount Druitt. Just a hurried pass and cleared comfortably by Chico. Tavares. And Wazinski was coming back from an offside position, so the flag goes up. And I do apologise. We've had almost certainly a change of referee, because that is definitely, I would say, not Hannah Stone, our assistant referee, nearest our camera, but hopefully Hannah hasn't suffered an injury to cause her to miss today's refereeing appointment. Both benches think it's handball. Play continues. Walker took on the midfield single-handedly and lost. Harada comes away with possession. A chance to counter here for Mount Druitt Town. Wazinski takes possession. Chico comes across, and Chico shuts it down. Will it be at the expense of winning a corner? No, it won't. Chico gets there in the nick of time to clear it out for a throw. And that is as dangerous as Mount Druitt Town have looked. The high counter-attack after winning back possession in their attacking half. Maybe signs that the momentum is starting to turn. Throw in, Karmas. And Tavares trying to swing in a throw. Kamas trying to turn her marker. It's going to sit up here. Tian Flavin blocked off the boot. And the player that made the block, Alyssa Rose, is now away. Mount Druitt's turn to scramble back in defence. Do APIA have the numbers? Crofts takes possession on the left side. Cuts central. And then a forceful pass over to Mia Golding. Golding bites her time, looking for Crofts back in the middle, but it's cleared away by Harada. Through comes Buchanan. Kasha. And the flag goes up. It's going to be a Mount Druitt ball. Well, that was lively. End-to-end stuff. Largely prompted by APIA giving the ball away in their defensive half. And then we had a couple of counters on each other, one after another. Harada. Faraja takes possession. And again, the first touch just not quite there for the attacker for Mount Druitt Town as the ball escapes away. Buchanan takes the throw. Faraja. Not on the same wavelength as Buchanan there. Seemingly leaving the ball for the oncoming left back, only to then play it out of her way. Seaman. Diagonal ball, and ultimately no APIA attackers breaking onto it. So comfortable enough for Kirstenovska. Now Tavares down the right sideline and just volunteering possession back to APIA. Chicken's got to be careful down in the corner here because Wazinski came ghosting in. The press is not on though. Druitt drop back a bit. Now they're a chance. Possession won by Flavin. Quick 1-2. Flavin had a long shot blocked last time she ventured forward. This time the pass can't find its way over to Wazinski. Chico clears. Again, the territory battle is starting to balance out here. Mount Druitt's starting to spend a lot more time down at their attacking end. Wazinski hard against the line. And, well, eventually, a very slow-moving nutmeg there against Jordan Jasnos, and it comes with a free kick. So a free kick in a dangerous position. We haven't seen a corner for Mount Druitt Town yet, but a wide free kick could be to their liking. Holly Williams has come forward, the number 2. She's standing well beyond the back post. Lena Kamas lurking at the back post. It's going to be Anna Harada to take the free kick. Is this Mount Druitt's moment to strike first? Harada, it only just squeaks past the wall and is half volleyed out for a corner. So not the most threatening free kick, but Harada will take a corner as the result. Williams has stayed forward. Alfaraja has put herself next to the goalkeeper, Sally James. Lots of Mount Druitt players waiting on Harada's corner, which is low, scuffed into the box, and dealt with by Sophie Hoban. And Hoban breaking out at full speed. A bit of byplay off the ball. Jasnos was legged by Wazinski. And now Hoban runs into trouble. And the ball is cleared away. And Jordan Jasnos is incensed with the referee. Not sure if our camera caught that contact as it was about 10 metres away from play. Wazinski's protesting her innocence that it was just a tangle of legs. Got a chance. Yep, we definitely saw it on the stream, so you can make up your own minds at home. And the result is that the APIA counter-attack came to naught. They do have a throw-in. Crofts makes a play at the ball from a sitting position, nearly a completed pass. Instead, Mount Druitt take over. Kasha plays it to Karmas, and, well, even the central referee is saying it's offside, and I think Karmas was well aware that she'd straight offside as well. No need for APIA to even appeal. Hanging a little bit too far off the last defender there, Lena Karmas. James a long way out of her line. Wazinski hunts the ball. Now Karmas. Is this Mount Druitt's chance to go? This is where they've looked the most dangerous. Al-Faraja on the end of Karmas's pass, and the flag's up, an anticlimax for the visitors. But a couple of times in this half, they have affected an attacking half turnover of possession, and that is where they have definitely looked they're most likely to create something, Mount Druitt. They have very much kept their powder dry on the press in this game. They've waited for APIA to make the mistake, and it has come on a couple of occasions now through half an hour. Chico, the body language says it all. Who's asking for the ball? Frajale was hiding behind Wazinski. I think that might have been part of the problem. And now Sophie Hoban's moving, but Sally James is going up the middle when Hoban had broken out to APIA's left. Seaman now wants to play the diagonal ball. Here's Hoban nicking it on. Jordan Jasnos able to beat one very hefty slide challenge from Jabor. The cross end, an attempted scorpion doesn't come off, and over the bar from Crofts. Well, APIA at breakneck speed very nearly pulled off the spectacular there with the attempt at the scorpion kick from Brodigan. And then Ashley Crofts could not hit the target with the chance that came after that. Great pass from Hoban to set Jordan Jasnos away. And Shaden Jabor went all or nothing and got absolutely nothing on the slide challenge, but luckily for her didn't catch the on-rushing Jasnos because it would have been a card. And just a question of what colour had she caught the attacker. Well, Brodigan had designs on goal of the season, but not to be. A fun attacking move. Can APIA load up and do it again? Here goes Jasnos. She's going to have Tavares send her wide, so she'll cut it back here to Walker. Chico, Fragale. Jasnos first time ball returning the favour to Sophie Hoban from the previous phase of play. Hoban comes to a standstill, doesn't like the options. Jasnos, great burst of acceleration, can't get the cross away. Tavares recovered well. Now fed through to the top of the box, and an emphatic clearance from Tian Flavin. Almost up to the halfway line. Walker takes back over for APIA. They want to keep the tempo high here. They can just sense that when it's continuous phases of one attack after the other, that's when Mount Druitt start to flag. And Buchanan has done exceptionally well there to win a throw-in and just take the sting out of the APIA team. Golding, first time ball. Missed Rose. However, the pass is straight to Jess Seaman and then all the way down to Sally James. You just sense the goalkeeper's getting impatient here, Sally James. She's spending a lot more time out of the penalty area now, wanting to usher the defence up the pitch and not spend any time in the defensive half. And so the ball goes long to Brodigan. Ash Brodigan, not many options to lay it off here, just running into a trap and ultimately gives possession away. Got to give all the credit to Al-Faraja and Buchanan there for combining very well. Now there's a debate over where the throw-in is to be taken from. Buchanan goes for distance, sets Al-Faraja a task. Al-Faraja leaning into Golding and leaning in illegally, according to the referee. Jasnos controls the ball, and Hoban breaking the lines with a run through the left. Crofts waits in the middle. Hoban, Crofts at the near post, and well defended. Offside flag was up regardless. You've got to say, very well defended to block that little glance away without the goalkeeper having to make a save. And it wouldn't have counted. The offside flag was up. Hoban is really starting to take over proceedings in the midfield. Sends a pass sideways, Alyssa Rose. Still some distance from the box, so she goes back to Fragale. Jessica Seaman. Diagonal ball, setting a tough task for Jasnos. Kept it in, not to her team's advantage. Look at the speed, though. Able to get back in quick time and keep possession at Apia's feet. Hoban brings down a high ball and is able to turn and face here. Hoban has shrugged the midfield and shoots, went for the bottom left. Oh, the defence just sat a bit deep in the midfield. None of them put a foot in on Sophie Hoban, and so with 15 metres to exploit, she burst into open field but just couldn't catch the shot in a way that placed it into the bottom left corner. But as this half wears on, Sophie Hoban is starting to show. She's got an elite tank at A-League women's level, so in the NPL it's going to be even more pronounced. That stamina just to keep sprinting as the game goes on. Mount Druitt just trying to stop the wave of APIA attacks. Hoban is having none of it. Wants to keep APIA on the front foot here. And the ball runs on to Rose. Golding and Rose in each other's way. And a free kick given. First yellow card of the game as well. Ella Buchanan with an apology rather than a protest. And a free kick some 5 metres from the edge of the box for APIA. Well, Golding did well to get to the ball first, and it was the late contact from Buchanan that led to the first yellow card of the game being presented. Now she's standing in the pack of players looking to defend here as Rose drops a free kick onto the head of Walker, and whether that was intended to be on target or another pass, it's ended up sliding harmlessly out. So Kirstenowska's goal kick. Rose and Golding. Buchanan comes through. Karmas protects the ball. Played it into midfield. Heard a shout but couldn't pick out a teammate. It was difficult as Hoban intervened between Kasher and Wazinski to take over possession. Sally James finds Sophie Hoban. Great control. Rolls away from Harada. Now Fragale. Can APIA up the speed here. Golding against Buchanan, who's now on a card, of course. Golding, and Buchanan puts a foot in and knocks the ball away and then sends it to the sideline, but it is an APIA throw. And this time Hoban a little overzealous. It's definitely arguing her case, but has given away a free kick. Shabour's free kick. Into the last 5 minutes of regulation in the half then. Can Mount Druitt keep this 0-0 scoreline to half time? It does feel as though APIA are making all the play at the moment. Mount Druitt are just trying to do what they can to interrupt and slow things down. Case in point right here. No one's anywhere near Renee Kirstenowska, so she's not obliged to hurry things up too much. Williams. Harada under pressure, as is Williams with the clearance. Alfaraja. Great first touch this time, and is able to spin away from Golding. Golding gets goal side. Alfaraja. Pass was blocked down initially, and then she went and extracted it back out from Fragale. The referee said a free kick in having done so. Crofts at the edge of the box. Golding, shaped across first time, decides to engage against Buchanan. And Buchanan eventually is able to step out of the way, and the ball is sent out for a goal kick. So some of that momentum just starting to dissipate for APIA. They have perhaps played into Mount Druitt's hands here. A couple of minutes of slowing the game down. Kirstenowska. Walker committed to the header, but it slid on. Kasha. Flavin. Great touch initially, and then was able to win a throw-in via a deflected pass. Or is she? There's a... Yep, APIA were trying to convince the referee it was their throw, but not to be. It's a midfield free kick instead, to be taken by Anna Harada. As has been the case on every free kick that Mount Druitt have had, plenty of time to size it up. And then sent long. Chico up for the header. Hoban. And the handball, hard to avoid that time. It reared up off the synthetic and collected the arm. And so taken quickly by Harada. The referee's going to say, no, come back and wait for my whistle. I think APIA are going to argue there that they took that free kick and it's gone to waste and they shouldn't get a second bite at it. But, well, right on the limit of shooting range. Anna Harada only scored the one goal in the A-League women's season for the Western Sydney Wanderers, but it was a strike from distance, so she has to be respected for potentially how dangerous she could be here. Sally James is asking for 4 in the wall, or 3 in the wall. 3 in the wall. She's happy. Nope, it is 4. A 4th player runs out now, and Sally James in goal is happy. Will Harada go direct? She's going to go for power and put it just over the bar. Sally James seemingly had it covered if it tipped any further. And that has almost taken us into stoppage time at the end of the first half. 20 seconds of regulation to go. Can APIA strike late? They've just gone a little bit off the boil at the end of the half. Golding trying to get things back going for them. Brodigan swings the ball to Crofts at the edge of the box. Late off here, and a tap-in presents. Sophie Hoban makes it 1-0 for APIA Leichhardt. A really well-worked move. And just as the first half ticks into stoppage time, they will feel it's no less than they deserve for how they've taken the game on. It was great centre-forward play from Ashley Crofts to lay the ball off. Alyssa Rose with a cross to an unmarked Sophie Hoban. And they will be absolutely delighted with that. So Mount Druitt stung into action at the end of the half. Karmas from kickoff trying to go forward. How much stoppage will the referee add on before the halftime break? Well, the halftime whistle goes. And you can see what it means to APIA here. Beaten by Mount Druitt last time they met, back in round 4, and with a cup final to look forward to. But right now, they are just battling to make the top 4, and they know how vital 3 points could be tonight. They've put their best foot forward in the first half, and they have scored right on the stroke of halftime to take the advantage into the rooms. For Mount Druitt Town, well, they were defensively sturdy for a lot of the half, right up until they were cut open with a very nice move at the end of the first 45. Will they come out with some new ideas now that they are chasing the game? The stats say 5 shots on target to none in that first half. So maybe they do need to be a little bit more daring after the break. For now, though, it's off to half-time. And the score is APIA Leichhardt 1, Mount Druitt Town Rangers 0. Welcome back to live pictures from Lambert Park, about to kick off the second half of this NPL Women's New South Wales contest. Round 17 match, APIA Leichhardt 1, leading Mount Druitt Town Rangers 0. The team at the top of the league find themselves behind at the start of the second half. Will there be a response, or can APIA land a major blow, both ahead of the Cup final in a couple of weeks, and also potentially planting the seeds ahead of a charge to the top four and what might inevitably end up being another meeting with Mount Druitt. Here's the goal scorer, Sophie Hoban, looking to start the second half with a bang. Not to be. We've seen a halftime substitution for Mount Druitt Town. Kaya Buchanan is on, the number 3. And it appears to have been a straight swap with the number 7, Shaden Jabour, who started the match at centre-back for Mount Druitt Town. One of 2 changes, because Keiko Tanaka has come on in midfield. And it looks like, as I do a quick head count, I think it's Tian Flavin who has made way. So a double change at halftime for Ben Goff and the Mount Druitt Town team. They're looking for a response in the second half. A change at centre-back and a change in midfield. Let's see if that means it's a bit of a dramatic change from Mount Druitt Town as well. They're on the attack here with Bakaya Alfaraja, but she's trapped offside. APIA, by contrast, have seen fit to continue with the same 11 that started the match. And why not? Because they did control territory for most of the half. Mount Druitt were improving as the half went on, but ultimately APIA's best move of the game sliced them open and scored the only goal of the match so far, right as the clock hit the 45-minute mark. Here's Alyssa Rose trying to find Mia Golding. Ella Buchanan clears. Rakaya Alfaraja not able to keep the ball for Mount Druitt. It's going to be an APIA throw. Golding's throw over the head of Crofts, straight to Kaya Buchanan. She's going to be called into action here to win another header. That looked like a handball against Rose. Play continues, though. Wazinski dispossessed. Crofts straight to Tavares. Now Claudia Chico. And Mona Walker. A misplaced pass. Of course, we've got the 2 Buchanan sisters on now, the number 3 and the number 31, so you'll be getting first name, last name to differentiate between the 2. Ball down the right here. Wazinski trying to get a run on, but Walker's used her frame well to protect the ball and see it out for a throw-in. So a quick look at what's going on around the grounds. Every other live score, at least that I was able to find at halftime, was also 1-0. Manly United 1 leading Newcastle Emerging Jets 0. Bit of a surprise at Uni. Sydney Uni 1 leading Sydney Olympic 0. Gladesville Ravens 0, trailing Western Sydney Wanderers 1. And also NWS Spirit 1, leading the Illawarra Stingrays 0. So 5 games, all of them 1-0 scoreline at halftime, including potential upsets coming the way of both Sydney Uni and the Western Sydney Wanderers. So things getting a shake-up today in NPL Women's New South Wales. Walker brings the ball under control eventually. Square pass, Estelle Fregale. Jessica Seaman and now Alyssa Rose. Tanaka got a boot in. Seaman follows up near Golding and now Walker. Shout coming from the left side. That was Jasnos, whose voice was carrying across the pitch. And Crofts now sends the ball to Jasnos on the wing. Lifts in the cross and it was honing it on the target. Kirstanovska able to palm it away. Well, a cross that very quickly turned into a shot and had to be dealt with. Rose. Now Hoban. Up against Buchanan. And Buchanan blocks it behind for a corner kick. So APIA continue to look threatening. Alyssa Rose still on corner taking duty. And she's driving this to the back post. Jessica Seaman leant into the header, didn't get any power. Deflected over to Walker. Trot on the ball. She said she was fouled, not to be. Harada can't release Karmas. Golding with a pass that's going to bounce kindly on for the goalkeeper. Kirstanovska wanted to go quickly, but no options on. And so it goes with the kick instead, straight to Fregale. Now Harada battling against Hoban, and Sophie Hoban's able to pick the pocket of Anna Harada. Great challenge. And now has support in the form of Alyssa Rose. Rose to Hoban. Golding is there in support. Hoban, thoughts are only of heading towards the penalty area. Ball was glued to her feet. In came Buchanan, and Hoban pushing her away, repelled her into the ground and gave away a free kick. Ella Buchanan saying I was pushed in the throat. The only player in the game on a yellow card at the moment, Ella Buchanan, arguing perhaps that a free kick wasn't enough. Well, Sophie Hoban is proving a real thorn in the side of Mount Druitt Town here. She's really running the game, has the only goal, and is just looking so dangerous every time APIA are in possession. Solid header from Walker. Kai Buchanan's header away. And now Harada with a long ball. Lazinski is well behind Jasnos here, and Jasnos still hurried into a pass. Walker trying to control it. High bouncing off the synthetic, able to nod it into the path of Hoban. And Hoban now, Sawmere Golding is able to pick her out with a pass. Golding stopped by Buchanan in her tracks. Alpha Raja went to ground. Alyssa Rose kept the ball. Crofts trying to roll past Kai Buchanan. Ashley Crofts on the tight angle and held onto by the goalkeeper. Now another cross in from Jasnos, and again honing right in on the near post, but this time the goalkeeper in very good position, and Kirstanovska makes a catch. Fregale dispossessed by Kasha. Can Mount Druitt get something going in the attacking half? Kasha's done well to win a free kick. So a chance for Mount Druitt just to flip the field and spend a bit of time down in attack, which they really haven't done so far in the 8 minutes of this second half. Williams off a long run-up. Drops the ball at the penalty spot, and it's a one-catch claim for Sally James, comfortably enough. Long ball from James out to the left. Walker. Hoban. Jessica Seaman tries to find Rose in traffic. Rose has done very well to control the ball. Crofts, well, tried to flick it into the path of Brodigan, but couldn't connect. Hoban stops Mount Druitt clearing once. Maybe caught a bit of contact there from Harada, but play continues. Enna Harada is trying to set Karmas away, and that's great, energetic midfield play from Mona Walker. And she's trying to advance, but just got stopped from the blind side there by the challenge of Kasher, and that was enough just to slow APIA down for a moment. Frigale. Crofts rolling away from Williams. And hard against the byline. That cross ended up twisting out. Crofts pleads her case. No corner, no free kick. Just a goal kick for Mount Druitt Town. And the score remains 1-0. You can hear the cheers coming from the opposite side. Some of the APIA youths and fans have set up in a way that their voices really carry off the wall of the pavilion. Midfield scuffle. APIA prevail with the ball. Frigale. Golding making width over on the right. Golding. Now Alyssa Rose can't connect the 1-2. Ella Buchanan lunges in. Is able to recover here and does very well stand up defending. Finds Kai Buchanan. And now Mount Druitt trying to escape. They can't get out of their defensive half at the moment though. Even though they made a change in midfield at half-time, 11 minutes of the second half is not much evidence of a change in the patterns of play in the game. Header attempted by Karmas. Wazinski running from the opposite wing to try and get over to the ball. Sally Jones able to collect uncontested, and now the overarm throw sets Jasnos away. Jasnos gliding across the pitch up against Tavares, and she is going to have to turn back, but wins a throw in doing so. Chico. And Jasnos unable to trap the ball as it runs away there. So Mount Druitt are going to have possession down at right back. Of course, it's always difficult to keep an eye on 5 games at once and anticipate what it's going to do to the live table. Mount Druitt Town did start the weekend on 35 points though, and that 5-point gap they had was cut to 3 at kickoff when Bulls Academy were able to beat the Northern Tigers earlier today. There's going to be another change in midfield here. Natalie Kasher, I mentioned that very heavily bandaged right knee. She's making way. And coming into the game is the hero of when the sides last met, Claire Holder, the number 10. She's on. It was her free kick that was the match-winning goal for Mount Druitt Town back in round 4. And they're going to need something special from her here. And she's straight into the game, antagonising Sophie Hoban, giving away a free kick and then a little bit of byplay afterwards. Holder, first appearance back in the seniors since round 14. So she's been out for a couple of weeks. And they'll be hoping that half an hour of Holder might be a bit of a game changer here for Mount Druitt. She comes on, though, having to defend this free kick. Dropped at the penalty spot. Walker, the bounce is on. Kirsanovska holds. In the chaos as Ashley Crofts went running into the net, but the ball did not follow. Hoban outmuscles Alfaraja. Sophie Hoban looks up at Buchanan, twists across. Brodigan's a natural left footer, wants to turn onto her right instead. Brilliant goal. APIA lead 2-0, and Ashley Brodigan starts a massive celebration over on the sideline. Well, they have come prepared for this one, APIA Leichhardt. Well, fully expected Brodigan to pull the trigger on the left foot, but she had one more turn in her and put it across the goalkeeper, Kirsanovska, into the net. Well, she has 2 in the cup, Brodigan, but that's her first in the league. 3rd of the season total. And now Druitt Town, who have done precious little in an attacking sense in this game, have a mountain to climb here. It is still only midway through the second half, but, well, Karmas maybe can capitalise here. Can they halve the deficit in the blink of an eye? The whistle's gone. The whistle's gone, even though the ball's in the net. Karmas protesting. What's the outcome here? The referee has whistled for a penalty, and so Mount Druitt Town will not get the goal. The ball ended up in the net. Lena Karmas can't believe it. It's a let-off of sorts here for APIA. If they save the penalty, this will be contentious. So, all the pressure now on the penalty taker, Lena Karmas. APIA, we saw how much they celebrated going 2-0 up in the aftermath of doubling their lead. Can Lena Karmas halve it? Off the underside of the bar, and the follow-up is saved right on the line by Sally James. Enna Harada is denied. Well, that is a flashpoint and a half. Karmas did not convert the penalty, and then the follow-up is saved by Sally James. And Mount Druitt Town, who will feel as though it should have been 2-1. Well, it's going to be even worse here because Rakaya Alfaraja, no card. It looks like the referee might have been reaching for the pocket, but just a foul here on Golding. Mount Druitt Town have responded by swapping their wingers here. Wazinski's come over to the left and Alfaraja has gone to the right. It's incredible to think they had created so little in an attacking sense in this game, and then straight after falling 2-0 down, Karmas was in, was fouled, and instead of letting the play shake out, the referee reached for the whistle and gave a penalty instead of paying the goal. And then amazingly, the penalty is not converted, and so the score remains 2-0. Got to remember that the Mount Druitt coach, Ben Goff, was given a yellow card of his own only 5 minutes into the game. That's perhaps the reason we haven't heard more vocal protestation come from the Mount Druitt sideline about the events that have just unfolded in front of us. Can APIA cash in while tensions are heightened and score a third? Frigale evades Holder. Sally James. Hoban. Look at the ferocity with which both teams are contesting in midfield. Holder sends a ball over to the left flank. Flag is up. Brzezinski's offside. Offside call. Sally James is down here. And what is the concern? Jessica Seaman and Claudia Chico are first in to have a word to their goalkeeper, and the signal's been given to the APIA bench to send over the trainer, but no one's running. Sophie Magus, the backup goalkeeper, is on the bench today for APIA. We've seen her in the last 3 weeks of the season, and she's gone and started a warm-up here. Sally James is getting her left leg worked on. Well, could this be the catalyst that changes the game here? Change of goalkeeper. Sally James has not really had a save to make until that point-blank stop from Enna Harada after the penalty. Waited an hour and then came up with a very, very important moment. Magus's warm-up continues, but Sally James is back on her feet. The trainer leaves the scene. Doesn't seem to be any appetite to sub the goalkeeper here for APIA. Hoban. Rose. Long ball. Kai Buchanan traps it. Ella Buchanan goes down by Golding. Kai Buchanan. And now Ella again. Watches it bounce out for a throw-in. Walker. Forcefully hit pass. Crofts tried to control it. Kai Buchanan rolls away. Thomas. Great touch. Able to lose the APIA midfield with one spin. And then sends the ball through. Holder advancing onto it. Full-blooded challenge comes through. Great defending from Jasnos. Took the ball and did it cleanly. Walker down to attack in the blink of an eye. Flanagan, the most recent goal scorer. Can't make a play at it here. Williams comes away for Mount Druitt Town. Tavares. Now Alfaraja with a cross from deep. Karmas trying to get there. Everyone stood and looked. And Karmas arrived just a split second too late. Gives the thumbs up out to Alfaraja on the wing, because that was a cross that had the entire APIA defence beaten. All it was missing was a finishing touch. Tanaka, pass intercepted. Hoban can return it with interest for APIA's cause. Just bides her time here, looking up at a midfield trap. Fragale. Switching it over to Jasnos. Fragale, crossfield ball. Golding advancing in on the diagonal. Kai Buchanan knocks it away. Chico. Jasnos. And Alfaraja. And in the end, it's Rikai Alfaraja who wins the free kick off Jordan Jasnos. Long ball, Karmas trying to control it first. Chico gets the last touch. And that will be a corner kick for Mount Druitt Town. As we tick into the last 20 minutes Still plenty of time for Mount Druitt. They've made 3 subs. APIA have just held steady with the 11 that started the game. Anna Harada to take the corner kick. It falls at the back post, and it does not fall in. Karmas was advancing onto the ball. Bit of a tangle of legs, and it's cleared away in the end by Walker for a throw-in. Holder, Wazinski, Holder. It's going to sit up kindly here for Wazinski to keep it moving. Alfaraja touches it around one defender, but now facing away from goal. Tanaka, long distance away from the target, bends it into the box. It sits up kindly for Tavares, and it's into the side netting. Now Sally James was diving after the ball. Didn't even have to touch it in the end. Just closing off the angle was enough. And Aaron Tavares not able to steer it back into the net. Just the 1 goal this season, Tavares, but not afraid to get forward from right back. That came in the 5-1 win against the Western Sydney Wanderers. Another change has gone through here for Mount Druitt Town. Ella Buchanan has made way. The only player on a yellow card. She's off, and on comes Holly Pender, the number 6. It's a straight swap over at left back. So Buchanan off, and Pender on. Here goes Wazinski. Showed too much of the ball to Jessica Seaman. Kai Buchanan's header. Through comes Rhodes. Crofts just got caught behind Tavares there. Tanaka. Pender, first touch off the bench. Seems APIA are finally going to make a sub of their own. Mount Druitt Town have made 4. Crofts. Fragale. Pass from Chico has been intercepted by Alfaraja. She's able to build a head of steam running down the right side. And not able to find a way past Fragale, who defended very well one-on-one. You can hear how invested the APIA crowd is. We've heard their bench, and their under-20s make plenty of noise whenever the ball is over on the outer side to our camera. Attempted cross for Mount Druitt. Blocked out, just a throw in. Tavares' throw runs down to Sally James. Jasnos. Crofts trying to protect the ball. Tanaka making that difficult. Crofts back in with a challenge, and it falls to Hoban. Sophie Hoban sends it wide. Golding will run it down. Mia Golding. Bides her time in possession. Hoban was looking for Fragale. Pass intercepted by Tanaka. Holder. Trying to keep things moving. Alfaraja sent wide to the right. Not much happening ahead of the ball, though, because you see Karmas is only on square in midfield. And a Harada. Mount Druitt will keep advancing, though. Alfaraja with it all to do. And that push deemed to be too forceful by the referee. Free kick given. So, APIA Leichhardt will make their first change, and it's Hannah McNulty who's going to come on. And the player making way is Alyssa Rose, who has been a real creative spark for them tonight, giving them plenty in attacking midfield. And she gets congratulations as she heads to the sideline. And on comes McNulty. Long ball onto the head of Williams. Harada. Crofts has become more important as the night has gone on, holding the ball up back to goal. Hoban sets it through for Brodigan. Brodigan taking on Kai Buchanan, and the ball is cleared out. Crofts sliding out of the way. Kai Buchanan. Carnes trying to flick it on. Couldn't get the better of Chico. Holder. Shouts of handball from the APIA bench go unheeded. Walker. Calmly back to James. James first time clearance. And Jasnos able to sink the slipper, sends it down the line. Kirstanovska not able to return it in kind, sends it into the windows of the pavilion. Tanaka. Carlos' header, setting hold of quite the task. Chico's going to dart back and get to the ball first. McNulty caught in possession by Harada. And Anna Harada, well, got quite the battle on because Walker came through and made it a 2-on-1. Pender's header. Tavares. Couple of headers going the wrong way as far as Mount Druitt are concerned. Williams eventually gets it wide. Pender, and that's off the outside of the foot. And for an APIA throw. Walker, Frigale. Puts it out into space for Jasnos. Jasnos didn't want to send in across. Frigale now. Hoban. Switching flanks. Mia Golding in space. Can she find a teammate? Cuts it across. Croft's first touch a little heavy. And that allows Pender to clear. Sliced away by Walker. Holder. Fouled by Chico. It's a yellow card for Estelle Frigale for the afters. So after quite a delay, eventually Williams strikes the free kick. First touch up here at the edge of the box. And now Harada slices that one well wide. And in a complete 180 from the first half, where it was Mount Druitt happy to wind the clock, trying to get the game to half-time. They weren't successful in doing so. Now it's APIA that are eating up time whenever the ball goes dead. We're into the last 10 minutes, and they enjoy a 2-goal buffer. Hoban, Jasnos and Alfaraja both competing. And they both ran out of space against the touchline. Hoban. Rodigan, well, just watched as Harada came in and took the ball away. Holder. Tavares caught in possession. Rodigan's done well. And Tavares is back in, contesting, but Rodigan's taking it down to the corner and protecting it quite ably. Harada comes in to make it a 2-on-1. It's a tangle of legs. And eventually the whistle goes. And that's going to prompt APIA to make their second substitution of the night. And it's going to be Ashley Crofts making way. She leaves the captain's armband with Estelle Fragale. And so Crofts, who's played a vital role for this APIA team, especially after they took a 2-0 lead with the amount of time she spent playing back to goal. And for the first time since round 9, so 2 months now, Imogen Lane is back in the APIA Leichhardt team. So a big moment for her, making a return after 2 months out of the side. And here is Lane. First touch, not what she was hoping for. McNulty, the other APIA sub. Finds Hoban. Jasnos still full of running. Will she get to the ball? Slid at the last second and right in front of the APIA bench. Not able to quite make ground on that occasion. Now Druitt take the throw in quickly. Now trying to speed this game up, Mount Druitt. APIA are the ones trying to pull up the handbrake here at the end of the night. Pender. Series of ricochets, gets another chance. I think Wazinski was trying to get back on side, and thus why there was no attempt to go running after the ball. Down to the corner. Hoban gets to the ball before Tanaka. Walker trying to step through midfield, couldn't do so. Chico in a 50-50 against Holder. Golding back helping out the defence. Fragale, long diagonal ball intercepted by Tavares. Chico, high ball. Lane out pointed in the air by Williams. Hoban follows up. Sophie Hoban tried to thread through Lane. Couldn't quite get the better of Williams though. Williams pass a little telegraphed. Alfaraja had to engage there. against Jasnos and ultimately couldn't keep the ball under her control. Still plenty of chat coming from the APIA bench as they close in on what will be a vital win for them, not least because around the grounds, Manly United are up 2-0, and the Gladesville Ravens have come from behind at half-time. They now lead 2-1. So what was looking like a couple of favourable results for APIA in the mid-table, now no longer going their way. Here's Hoban, early shot. Kirstanovska plants herself behind the ball and is able to collect it comfortably enough. Karmas, awkward bounce, reared up at the last. Chico and Karmas in a tangle. Chico stays down. APIA come away with the ball. Hoban weaving forward. Lane can't quite break through on goal, and the keeper's out to pick it up. And now play will be whistled dead. Temper's starting to heat back up again. We saw this at the end of the first half. Well, now there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on. Kirstanovska's getting involved. Ash Brodigan as well. And certainly a case where you can be well aware that these two teams have unfinished business this season. They've got the cup final, of course, coming up, and APIA will be desperate to be joining Mount Druitt in the finals by making the top four. Not to take it as read that Mount Druitt's a guarantee, of course. This will be their third defeat of the season, barring the late show. And their lead at the top will be cut, and there's a huge chasing pack all ready to swoop if they can't correct course after tonight. Speaking of which, Mount Druitt's next assignment is back at Popondetta Park against University of New South Wales next Sunday, and they'll be stinging after they were beaten 3-0 by the Macarthur Rams earlier today down at Linwood Park. Their own finals hopes taking a major blow in the process. And APIA's next assignment is away to the Western Sydney Wanderers Academy, who, of course, got the better of them 1-0 here at Lambert Park back in round 5. So they'll be out for a bit of revenge and, of course, 3 vital points in the battle for the finals. Golding's throw. Williams knocks the ball down. Harada, Pender. Goes for a long ball. It's beaten Walker. Karmas hooks it on. Alfaraja. It sits up. Karmas. It's going to drop late. And it needed a save from Sally James. It didn't look promising off the boot, but it just looped high and dipped right on the goal line. And Sally James makes the save. Lena Karmas has turned timekeeper. She's very wound up by how long James has taken to release the ball each time she's picked it up. Walker's pass here is going to find Imogen Lane. Lane down to the corner. And Williams has won a free kick. It's going to be a sub here for APIA. Gisela Pepino is getting ready to come on. Ash Brodigan is the player who's been given the hurry up here by the referee just to jog off at the end of what has been a successful night for her. First goal in the league this season, third of the campaign overall. Brodigan takes her leave, and on comes Gisela Pepino for the last couple of minutes. However many minutes of stoppage time the referee feels this game is worth. Walker, Jasnos, Pepino, first touch off the bench. The ball rolls onto Hoban. Hoban gets the better of Williams. Watson in the middle here. Hoban, is she happy to keep it in the corner? Seemingly so. Pepino there helping out. And the throw-in goes Apia's way.
Watch for the own goal, APA. Own goal, watch for it. It's coming.
So we've ticked almost a minute into additional time now. Apia with the ball down there attacking end. Clean sheet intact. 3 vital points through the middle of the table coming their way. They'll go to 27. It won't be enough to go ahead of Manly, Spirit Illawarra, the Bulls Academy or Mount Druitt this weekend. But it's really more the message that it sends. They will leapfrog University of New South Wales and the Northern Tigers and finish the weekend in 6th. Getting that little bit closer to the top 4. It's more the nature of the performance, more than the circumstances that have really shone through tonight. Lane, her turn to go to the opposite corner. Death by 1,000 cuts here for Mount Druitt Town. McNulty's header. Harada. Fregale. Holder. Golding takes over. Well played by the youngster Golding. McNulty. And Apia appear committed to going to the corner again, although Lane can't control the ball this time. That takes us to 2 minutes of stoppage expired. Very sus looking throw, but play continues. Siemens header. Hoban still running at the end of the night, Sophie Hoban. Pender's taken the ball off her here. Harada can't go forward though because Hoban is making everything so difficult for Mount Druitt. And Walker, body checked by Karmas. The referee waves it away. Play continues. Tanaka slides it on Alfaraja and it's going to run down to Sally James for an easy collect. And that takes us to 3 minutes expired of additional time. Referee not looking at the watch just yet. Sally James puts the ball on the ground and kicks it out to the sideline near halfway. Hoban again in front of Tanaka, just still the hungriest player on the pitch to win the ball. Tries for the 1-2 with Pepino. Doesn't quite come off. Pender just concedes a throw down in the corner. Pender's arguing it took a deflection, but I think the assistant referee's got that spot on. And so Apia, who've made no bones about going to the corner and wasting time, going to maybe think about attacking here, or will they go to the corner again? It's a moot point. Wazinski's got the ball back here for Mount Druitt Town. Now Holder on the turn. Plays it long. Seaman backtracking. Karmas trying to roll her. Bit of push and shove ensues. Karmas against 3 opponents. And Jess Seaman boots the ball away in an act that the referee can't help but brandish a yellow card for. The question is it now too little, too late? We've found 4 additional minutes at the end of the night. And after this free kick, even if Mount Druitt were to score, that would be 5 expired. And surely not enough time to even take the kickoff. If they do score here, Mount Druitt, they'll have plenty of what-ifs given what went on with the penalty and non-paid goal earlier. Well, Holder not able to produce the magic that appeared at Poppendale earlier in the season, as that free kick goes harmlessly out. So as we tick up to 5 additional minutes played now, goal kick coming from Sally James. First touch, Hoban. APIA in control. Jasnos. And the full-time whistle goes. Statement made by APIA Leichhardt. Both in anticipation of the Sapphire Cup final and for what may yet happen in the run to the top 4. They've still got plenty of ground to make up, but the performance, as much as the 3 points tonight, have shown what APIA are made of. And for Mount Druitt Town Rangers, they started the weekend 5 points clear at the top of NPL Women's New South Wales. It's been cut to just 2 points with this defeat here tonight. And even though APIA's hopes of favourable results elsewhere haven't quite come through for them in the top 4 race, the reality is that if they play like they did tonight, they'll win their way in without needing favours, because that is as good as a performance as you'll see against a league leader in this competition. For Mount Druitt Town, they can point to who was out with suspension and injury. They can perhaps also point to a real moment of acrimony with a goal that wasn't allowed because a penalty was given due to the referee blowing the whistle. But ultimately, other chances beyond that were few and far between, and APIA will feel as though they were good value for their final scoreline. On behalf of our broadcast partner, Sportscast Australia, my name's Teo Pellizzeri. Thank you for your company. That full-time score, APIA Leichhardt 2, Mount Druitt Town Rangers 0. Good night.